All right, for more on this, let's bring in a member of the House Oversight Committee, Florida Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna. Anna, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Big day,
nice to see you too.
Big day in the House today. We're going to get to that later. But first, I want to ask you about Joe Biden. We have 20 American service members who are injured by Iran, and Joe Biden doesn't have any response but a stern, soft warning to say, listen, you do this again, there could be consequences. What do you make of Joe Biden's commentary to Iran on these 20 injured service members?
You know, I think that his entire position on the world stage for not just this past week, but for basically since he's taken office has been a very weak position. And the fact is that Syria and our positioning in that country has never been supported even by the government of Syria. And so the fact is that we started hearing about this several weeks ago in Congress. Obviously, you saw that we were sorting things out up here. But the fact is that these are service members. And I think the bigger question is this considered an act of war? The fact is that this administration has been soft on Iran. They've been soft really on, I think, influence of Islamic terrorists. And we're seeing that even play out with their messaging in regards to response and what's happening in Israel. So I would say that if I was in this administration or if I was advising the president, I would tell him that he needs to definitely change his position, and his foreign policy is terrible.
Congresswoman, we're so far gone, though, as a nation, and Joe Biden funding Iran's terrorism. But Iran, it's not $40 billion, it's more closer to $100 billion that the regime has collected just through oil sales in less than 3 years' time. And this is the Biden doctrine: enrich, empower, and embolden Iran and terrorism. We essentially funded the attack on Israelis by Hamas, and these attacks and the injury of U.S. troops. And Iran has enough money to last the regime for several years. They don't need to sell another barrel of oil. We're done.
I mean, I'm right there with you. I think that the way that this administration has really emboldened and aided and embedded in all of this is pretty disgraceful. But I want to point out something today to incorporate in everything that you just said. The new speaker, Speaker Johnson, actually pointed out that, you know, we are going to block a lot of this terrible foreign policy that this administration is putting out, and that you cannot punk America any longer. And so I look forward to talking with my colleagues exactly on how we are going to address this. But again, I mean, the fact is that we need to be cutting off every single aspect of funding that's going to any government or country or organization that is sympathizing with these awful, terrible monsters that are supporting terrorism against the United States and our allies.
Congresswoman, as an American, I look forward to not being punked. Great language on that. You mentioned the new speaker, a lot of action in the House today. New Speaker, Louisiana Congressman Mike Johnson. And while not a household name for many Americans, he's consistently upheld conservative values, a good conservative. Watch this.
The federal government, from Democrat members of Congress to intelligence agencies, including the FBI, used Twitter and other social media companies to censor Americans' speech. Twitter was basically an FBI subsidiary before Elon Musk took it over.
The president shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. I just listed just a small sampling, just the tip of the iceberg of the credible allegations and the mounting evidence that shows that Joseph Biden has engaged in bribery schemes, pay-to-play schemes.
On your watch, the data is pretty clear. We've had record levels of illegal immigration, a rapid decline in deportations, skyrocketing fentanyl deaths across our country, and the Secret Service, which is a DHS component, can't determine who left cocaine at the White House.
So, Congresswoman, obviously Mike Johnson, good guy. I served with him when I was in Congress, smart. He's kind of wonky, knows legislation. Was he elected because he's a good conservative member and a great leader? Or are you guys just so tired of 3 weeks of this garbage that you're like, okay, he's the next guy in line. We're going to pick Mike Johnson because we're sick of this?
So actually, if you really want to know the tea and what happened, there was actually an effort to block him yesterday at conference.
Yeah.
And I think multiple factions, we have very moderate members, we have very conservative members, but people across the board coalesced around him and basically said, you're not going to do that. We need to get back to business. Enough of the nonsense. He's an incredibly talented and also an individual that understands the Constitution and knows how to lead this country. And I think the fact that he was unanimously elected, there were people that were saying that not even Jesus Christ could get 217, and he got 220. So I think those people are eating their words, and we are very honored to have him leading the 118th Congress.
Congresswoman, I love how the former congressman essentially just called the new Speaker of the House the last guy left at the bar, so to speak.
The congresswoman just confirmed he was the last lady left.
But he is, and I've talked about this. He voted, I just want to point this out, Johnson voted no on the stopgap measure funding the government through November 17th. He voted no on $40 billion in aid to Ukraine. He also voted no on the extra $300 million toward Ukraine's security, which Emmer and Scalise and McCarthy all gave thumbs up to. So again, no to bipartisanship. That's the only way you're going to starve these liberals from spending.
Well, the best part is that Mike Johnson is a fiscal conservative, and so I look forward to working on those single subject spending bills. Obviously, there are special interest groups that don't like hearing the word no in Washington, but they're going to get a whole lot of no out of Mike Johnson. We look forward to that.
Sometimes timing matters, whether you're asking, a girl to go out with you or if your kids are asking you for something. Timing always matters. Mike Johnson hit the timing right in the House. You guys were all coalescing. I'm happy to see it myself. A job well done. But before you go, Congresswoman, your Democratic colleague, Congressman Jamal Bowman, a squad member, has now been charged for pulling the fire alarm last month when the House was working to avert the government shutdown. And he now appears to be taking it pretty much all in stride. Watch this.
I have to pay a $1,000 fine in 3 months. As long as I stay out of trouble, the case will be dismissed. The charges will be dismissed. So looking forward to that dismissal in 3 months after I go through the process.
Do you regret your decision at all?
I mean, it was a lapse in judgment, if you will. I was in a rush trying to get to a vote, had a brain freeze, pulled the alarm to open the door, didn't work, and then rushed to get to my vote. So, it was it wasn't like a conscious decision to do something wrong.
Many from January 6th are still in prison, and they did far less. Jamal Bowman pulls a fire alarm to get the Congress to stop debating, and he gets a $1,000 fine and can basically laugh it off. What do you make of this?
It's egregious. I actually am very excited that Mike Johnson is in the position that he's in, because I do think that he's going to work on really, I think, fighting for the rights of some of those people that are being wrongfully treated and imprisoned due to January 6th. But I want to mention something. This man who has been charged and fined $1,000, which is ridiculous, he was a principal at an elementary school, if I'm not correct.
Yes.
And I actually thought about bringing forward a resolution to punish him the same way that you would punish a child so that he learns his lesson. It's crazy.
It's a point well made. He was a school teacher. He knows all about fire alarms and what they do and what they look like and when you pull them, what happens. And he was not trying to get to the floor to vote. He was trying to disrupt proceedings officially.
I'm grateful that for the children. I think that the children are probably benefiting from him not being their principal any longer. Yeah, at least the adults can control him in the House.
Well, Congresswoman, after 3 weeks, we were excited to see what you all can do. Hopefully you get to the business of trying to reform our spending, cut a little bit of it. That would be great. But a big agenda ahead. Good luck with that, and thank you for joining us on The Bottom Line. Representative Anna Paulina Luna, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I talk about the speaker's race for a second?
Yep.
So I talked about timing. So yesterday, Tom Emmer was up. He got the majority vote, but he couldn't get to 17. So he said, all right, I won't go to the floor. I'm totally out of this. And then today, Mike Johnson, who was in second place, comes in and gets all the votes. I think if you had just reversed it, if Mike Johnson had won yesterday and Tom Emmer came in second, Mike Johnson wouldn't have got the votes yesterday. Tom Emmer would be the speaker if he had lost the vote yesterday and come up today. My point with that is they're tired. You spend hours listening to speeches, and they go through question and answer, and they're up late at night, and they're up early in the morning, and it's speech after speech. You do it for 3 weeks, they're like, I am so sick of this. Let's just get a speaker. This is the last guy left. Let's vote for him. And by the way, maybe the good Lord is looking out for the House GOP, because Mike Johnson will do a great job. He's a great conservative, smart guy. I wonder, can he actually do a good job when he goes in to negotiate with Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden? I hope so. He has the smarts to do it. Does he have the gravitas to do it, though?
Can I say this to you?
Yes.
And this isn't directed at
Thank you.
but...
Everybody else but me.
Oh, you're so tired of listening to all the speeches. It's just so difficult governing the people, and we're pulling that six-figure salary and just getting all that time off. That's just so hard.
I would rather lay bricks than sit in that room.
People
it's horrible.
Hate you. But can I quickly add this?
Is that me or everyone else in the House?
No, So reading through Johnson's record, he ranks 429th out of 435 lawmakers in bipartisanship. This is an index that Georgetown University puts together. And I think that this is magic, because what did I say earlier? I don't want to hear the word bipartisanship, because, again, all of those jackasses the minority leader over in the Senate, who I will not name, but also Lindsey Graham, who added almost $3 trillion in spending by voting with the Democrats. That's bipartisanship. That's gotten us in a hole, number one. And then number two, with Johnson, Heritage Foundation gave Johnson a lifetime score of 90% for his voting record.
With a 4-seat majority, the Speaker does not lead the House. The House is going to lead the Speaker. It's the art of the possible is what they're going to deal with.
But this is principles.
Hopefully he has some bubble gum and duct tape to keep this thing together.
Exactly. But he's from, the Architects. Go look that up, Duffy.